Alrighty folks, I'm Casey and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Tribal States SMP. Guys, if you missed the last episode, we decided to tackle making the mine. We made the bottom entrance to the mine, and the mine actually itself anyway, along with an auto sorting system, my first ever in Minecraft. It's going to automatically sort out all of the blocks that we mine. It's fantastic, it's great, it's lovely, and I absolutely love it. Now, in this episode I want to tackle a couple of things. One, I kind of want to finish the wall and a couple of the turrets that's going to surround the wall. And I also want to add in a few market stalls. So if that's something you think you're going to enjoy, guys, do me a favor. Leave the video a like. Hit subscribe. You can check out my other channels and my social media. Those are linked down below. And without any further ado, let's get into the episode. So the first thing that I want to do is the market stall. Tackling Rend cities. Yes, Rend cities. They're lovely cities. They're in the Rend dimension, not the end, the Rend. But tackling End cities, it produces quite a fair bit of additional tools, and I don't have use for all of these. So I'm going to sell these at a stall. And I'm thinking of selling for the cost of the diamonds. So an element would be 5 diamonds, but obviously you get a free enchant. This one even has mending on it. So I think that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to pop it on the dock. And I'm thinking we start it somewhere over on this one here, just to add a bit more life to the area, because these are quite plain. And with the wigwam bam, we've got them all in place. 3 more. We're selling some pretty cool stuff at these ones, though. Like, there's some real steals to be had. But I'm selling them for cheaper than the cost to make them. Which is, you may be puzzling, why? Why would I do such a thing? Well, to be honest, I found all of these, so it didn't cost me a thing to make them. So I want to make them more appeasing and appealing to the viewer. There's one more thing I want to do. I want to pair this with a little bit of a starter kit. I think we should have a stack of rockets with each one. So the night is upon us, and I'm going to go find some green things that explode, and then I'm going to cut them down to size. After becoming the equivalent of a Minecraft pincushion, I finally now have a stack of rockets to go along with each elytra, or elytra, however you want to say that word. It's said that way. I've heard people pronounce it differently. Alrighty, it always makes me laugh the way Mumba pronounces it, the elytra over the elytra. I kind of like that. It's become my most thing. Anyway, now that we've gotten this marketplace done, then it's time to work on this wall. Now I want to make one thing perfectly clear. I do clean up after myself every episode. Look, the nice little chest mods that we had going out there, cleaned up. I only leave shulker boxes lying around in a location if I'm still working on that area. So for right now, these will be here till the end of this episode. Anyway, first things first. Where are we going to have entrances, and where are we not going to have entrances? Now, when it comes to doing this, we're going to start fairly simple. We're just going to start with the doorway, because I want it to just sort of come in like this. I'm going to need an extra one of these here just to place this block. Kind of want it to open like that. I think 3, maybe we do this instead. Then that might be better, or maybe we don't do that. Maybe we do... Yeah, I kind of like that. But no, I think we're going to go with, for now, we're going to go with this kind of gate design. And the basic idea is this is going to be like a doorway that's open. Although I think we're going to have it open this way. And my reasoning for that is we're going to have one of these here and potentially one of them right there. And I think it look cool if they were opening opposite ways. Now, of course, when we do this, we now need to look at what we're going to have at the sides here. And I think I want to keep it somewhat simple. I mean, we need to keep it in line with everything else that's currently going on. So what about if we do, like, we do a 3? We could probably get away with a 3. Maybe we go smaller. So the working prototype is somewhat in. And this is like the general shape. I've started with just a shape. I think it fits in really, really well with everything else that we've got going on here. And again, this is just going to be a very, very small entranceway. We need to also sort of do something to cap it off a little bit. So perhaps, I don't actually, why can I not put that there? Because we need this to come there. And I do like that kind of gap there, because that gives us something interesting that we can work with. Or maybe we just make that a full block all in all. I don't know. Yeah, I've got to work more on that. But I'm stumped on a little thing. And that's the top look. I like the top, but there's got to be something more going on. But I don't know exactly whether I want to lift this up a couple more or what, because I haven't got this bit installed right here. So I think my next job is to finish this part of the wall. So I worked on this a little bit more, and I've got the wall in place. And now that I've done the wall, this design, I really like it. As a shape, I don't think I'm going to go with it. Although, I'm going to keep this in mind, because I do have a couple of ideas for this kind of some design. I've got some really cool ideas for it. So let's just chop down, you know, about... Well, if I'm being honest, this only took me like a couple of minutes to do. It's a fairly simple design, so I'm not too upset about tearing it down. The one thing I've enjoyed about this build is it's an even number. It's different from what I normally build on. But shall we take a look? Dun, da, da, da. This is the design I've gone with. Now remember, this is just supposed to be a gate into the village. This isn't a major road. This is like a side entrance, if you will. And there's going to be a couple of them among this gate. This is probably where we let some merchants in to be able to bring stock in and out or something like that. Whereas the main entrance is going to be here. This is going to have two huge turrets either side. And it's going to look really, really cool. It's probably going to be about as tall as that building in the end, I'm thinking. I've got some cool ideas for that turret over there. But for right now, this gate looks perfectly fine. And yes, I have taken the time to put in a road and do it on the other side too. So you can get a bit of a better look from here. And from here, you get a pretty good view of how it looks. And I have made a decision about this building right here. I am going to be doing something different with this top part of the roof here. I've got a really cool idea, but that's going to be a different episode. Right now, I want to finish bringing this wall along this front end so that I can actually get the mine top done and have the mine be officially a part of this. But for right now, it's just mainly the wall. So I'm going to take this gate design right here, and I've got to repeat it over by that entrance. So I got the second one in place, so you can sort of see how this is coming together. These gates are going to be incredibly close to this central turret, and I was kind of debating whether to go with that or not. But I think as you come up here, it'll look really, really good to have these really cool sections of what look like a different section of wall either side of it. I think we've got the same distance for this side. And given that it's all built on the same sort of pretense, we should have for this side. Yes, we do. Good. So we'll have a nice little cool wall thing that connects into this turret from this side and into the turret from this side. Now, I've just sort of laid out the area for the turrets. I want them to be quite big. With the main entrance not being too big. But what I want from this is not deep slate. These are going to be in a different sort of palette. We've got deep slate here. I want to go back to blackstone. We've used deep slate here and whatnot for this turret, but I think for the main turret I'd like it to be mainly blackstone and possibly some deep slate a bit further up. But as you can see, they're in the right places. But I do have a small story to tell you guys. I accidentally built all of this. I forgot the trapdoors on the top. I accidentally built all of this, all of it, right here on this. This one is 5. This one is 5 because it is the main entrance. This one is not 5 because it is not the main entrance. Hello, Husk. You are going to die, my friend. Anyway, I want to get the foundations in with blackstone here. Well, some blackstone later, we've started to get the feeling that you can feel that this is somewhat grander than what we've got going on here. But it does feel a little bit out of place. Just a tad. Have I got my rockets on me? Yes. Let's go and fly away and just see sort of how it looks out when we're coming at it from an angle. So you can definitely tell it's the entrance because it's different, and because we got a black building here, it does definitely fit in. So I kind of like that, but I wanted to bring you guys in for something that I thought was pretty cool. One of the things I really like to do is to take fences and just sort of pop them up here. So we've got what looks like a bit of a port. Is it a portcullis, this thing? I can't remember. I can never remember the proper terminology, but as you can see, it looks like it's coming down. It looks really, really good. We could even add in a second one if we wanted right here in the middle, but I don't think that there's really any need for it. I've got this little scaffolding right here so I can see coming back. Yeah, I like that. And I think I'm going to focus my attention solely on this central section right here. Now, I want to make one thing perfectly clear. This is going to be taller, but I don't know exactly how tall just yet. So I want to kind of figure out sort of like how I want this center bit to look to see if we need to bring this up some or if this is perfectly good this way. I've been playing around with the front of this place, and I think this is the design that I like. It was a bit too black for me when it had just black stone in it, so I've added in some of the warped wood as long with a bit of just deep slate here. I think the different colors coming together really looks nice. I thought about adding like crenulations and bringing it out a little bit here, but then I decided against that. This, I think, works perfectly for what I'm going for. And we're only going with this bit, remember, this bit right here. We're not worrying about the 2 towers just yet. That's going to come in a moment. But this is great. But I'll tell you what isn't great. It's when you spin around and you look at it from behind. Yeah, it doesn't look good to this side. I haven't done this side. I just wanted to show you guys and see what you thought so far. I'm going to get it in on the next side. I'm also going to put the doors in up there and down here. I'm going to use very similar doors that we used over there, the spruce trap doors and stuff. I think it'll look good. I've got the backside in place. Very nice. Now all we need is a toilet roll holder for it. Oh, jokes aside. I actually wanted to bring you guys back because these are the 3 wide doors that I do. And I quite like these. It feels very much like a much grander and bigger door. But, how do you do them? Well, they're fairly easy. First thing we're going to do is grab the spruce door, or you can do this with pretty much anything that follows this pattern, trapdoors and doors. Put it down here. You want to put it on an inside block from the door, and you want to put it facing, well, you want to face into it so it opens inwards. Then it's just a case of grabbing trapdoors. In this case, you're going to spin around so you're facing the opposite way, hold shift, and then just jump. And as you right-click to place the trapdoor, you shall place it on top of the previous one. If you don't hold shift, then you're going to run into this issue. So make sure you hold shift, and then you can also place them on top of the door, and then just open them. And as you open them, they sort of form this 3-wide door. And it's just a simple case of boom, boom. Or whatever other designs you want. I've decided to go a little bit further in my designs. I've taken these guys out. I've taken these guys out. And I'm putting in just little windows either side. I have thought about putting warped wood behind them, or maybe even a warped trap door. So I'm just going to hold shift so I can place one against the other. And I do kind of like that, but I don't know if it's something I'm going to stick with in the long run. And by adding these in, I took away the part I was going to hang a lamp from each side, so I'm just going to hang it in the center. This is also going to tell me that I want to bring this up at least 1 more block. I've been playing around with it just a little bit more, and I've got to say that I'm quite happy with adding in some more deep slate to the mix. I think bringing that in sort of helps break up that kind of blocky same feel, and I want to do that over here. I want to switch these out. We got some windows over here that I want to try to arch out like so. Now, this does mean that mobs are going to be able to get into them, but it also means that we can put something behind them that I think will look quite good. And we haven't used anything here other than warp wood, but I'm not so sure that I want to use warp wood. I think I want to go with spruce trap doors to sort of bring in that feeling, but I'm not entirely certain. Another thing of me is tempted to do this, and then what we can do is we can one above this, we can go like this, and like this, and work out something quite interesting there. Do I have any fences on me? I've got to be careful though, because I am almost out of trap thingies. And I think maybe this one, and this one could potentially be these guys. I mean, I do kind of like that. And then what we can do is put one of these on either side, along with a chain and a lantern. And because I'm too lazy to go into my inventory, we'll just do this. And it kind of looks like it's sitting on there. I'm not overly sold about that. I think I'm going to play around with this a little bit. Now, folks, we're talking. I like this. I like this a lot. I really, really do. So, we got a couple of things going on here. First of all, we've got these spruce shutters I was telling you about. These can be open and shut, and I think I'm just going to use a mixture of having some of them open and some of them shut. Those ones that open up there was an accidental thing of putting those chains in, but I may very well have one half of this top window open and one half of it shut, and I may do a different variation on this side of which ones are open and which ones are shut. It's very similar to the window that we've used on the mines here. Look, got a couple of them open, while a couple of them shut. And I think they work really, really well together. I've tried to incorporate a bit more deep slate into it. I wish there was like deep slate buttons, but there isn't. Or at least I don't think there is. Absolutely not. They only have in stone variants of buttons, stone and polished blackstone. Why? Why is it there is a button for every single type of wood, but yet there's only 2 when it comes to stone? I find that very stonist, game. That is very stonist. It is against stones, and stones do not like it. You wouldn't get away with that in a world today. It is making me want to... I'm tempted to change these walls out for full blocks and then have chains going along them. I mean, we could always go with a wall across here, but I don't think it'll look all that good, if I'm being honest with you. But I suppose we won't know till we try it. No, okay, it's tacky. And of course, both of those just so happen to pop off onto those blocks. Do you know, the amount of randomness I have with blocks is unreal. But yeah, I do kind of like that. We do need to do something with sort of circling out the sides a little bit here. And I think maybe breaking it up like that is the perfect one. Oh no, one fell down here. I didn't notice that. And sure, I've logged in and out of this game a few times today. Just sort of, I will do a bit of this project and then I will get called away. My wife wants to show me something. I've got my brother over for a visit. He wants to show me something. Actually, just those there in the off spots looked pretty good, actually. We could probably just get away with that every other 2 blocks without having to do much. Although, if I'm being completely honest, I had to try something else, and the chains worked brilliantly. Now, this isn't the top of it, by the way. This is just the first story. We're going to have another turret up above it, going up, a bit skinnier, but it's going to go on top of it, and then we're going to have a third one on top of that. I just need to sort of work out the bottom ones at first. So I'll actually talk very briefly about this, guys. If you're ever planning a project and you're unsure exactly what you want to do, just take it in bits and pieces. I knew the rough shape. I wasn't too sure on the height, so I did this bit behind me, right above my head there. First, to help me guide the height. Then I'm starting to work on the front. Now I've got to repeat this on 4 different sides. I've got to do it on the front side here. So 1 behind my head, and then I've got to do it on the opposite sides. I am not going to be doing this design. No, give me back my hood. Thank you very much. I'm not going to be doing this design on the side here. What we're going to do on the side here is entirely dependent on where this wall connects in. I mean, the wall's going to connect in here, so we're only going to have like 1 block either way of it. So there's no point in doing it there. It's just going to be pointless. There's going to be a door here so we can walk into this part of the wall. But other than that, I don't think I'm going to be putting anything over that side. Anyway, it's time that I get on with the long and daunting task of doing this on all 4 sides. The skies are lovely, and we're going to come in for a little bit of a view. What is it like? Oh, I like it. It's annoying that only half of it is loaded. That was annoying. Oh man, let's turn back around. Yep, that's looking pretty good and pretty grand. You can definitely tell this is the way in. So I have finished it off for the most part, or as far as it's going to go in this episode. I do want to make this tall. I want there to be something coming out at the top. But for right now, this is going to do. I've spent 3 days working on this. I've not had much time to actually spend, so it's been bitten and bobbing. But I have been spending quite a bit of time working on this. And I've deliberately left open this window and then the same window on the opposite side, look. So I'm hoping, like, kind of when we come here, we'll get a view of what's going on inside of the city through these. That's kind of my hope. I don't know how that's going to pan out, but I'm hoping that will be it. I did up there. You can see there's some little bricks missing. I kind of like that detail. It's a bit big and chunky, but it's probably the best that I could do given the situation. I do like it. The only thing I'm not a big fan of is the space up here. There isn't much space around this grand entrance. But we do have a couple of other side entrances. And I'm not a big fan of this pathway anymore. I wanted something different to break up the stone, but I don't think this is it. I actually really am growing very fond of this pathway here. This little one right here. Just how this is done. It's not got the chiseled in it. It's just missing the chiseled, and it feels like very much pathway. It's like at some point they intended there to be a gate here, which we did, but it just didn't pan out for whatever reason. And that's why I like this. So I think I may do that over here. and over there. But over here, I want it to be very much the same as the road that is in here, I'm thinking. But that's all for later on. Later on, I want to finish this episode off. And excuse me, that was a burp. I do apologize. Probably shouldn't have had a drink before I did this, but I'm hooked. Currently, it's Coca-Cola Cherry that I'm drinking. Usually Pepsi Max Cherry. This bit is a little bit rough, as is this bit right here. And this bit right here, although I don't think, although this would only come to here actually, so we do know where this is going to come to. It's only going to come to here. Then we're going to have this right here, which is going to be the upper half of the mine. So I think I'm going to get this section of the wall put in place, this section, and that other section. After much labor, the wall is finally finished. It's now brought all the way up. The gaps are filled in, you can see. I've used the exact same pattern that we've used pretty much everywhere else here, sticking with the wall. And it looks really, really good. I do want to take a bit of a fly around just to sort of see it from a distance. Oh, I like that. That feels a lot more imposing than what we had before now that we've actually got something finished here. You've got like an actual city. What does it look like when we're on the docks? This I am curious about. It's all about creating the atmosphere here. Oh, that looks good. That looks good. These market stores kind of hide some of it, and I think that's really, really good. Oh, boy. I'm fairly chuffed with what we've done today. The more and more I work on this project, the more and more I'm just kind of shocking myself at what I'm, you know, when I first started to try to build a castle in Minecraft, it was terrible. This time we're like building a city or / a castle, if you will, and it's coming along a lot better. And I'm adding different layers, you know, different elevations. We're going up elevations. And that really creates the kind of grand vibe. Because we're starting to get all of this come together. And the different sort of textures work well, while also blending in with each other. We didn't use any copper on here. We probably could have. But we didn't. I do plan to change that roof a little bit. I've got another idea for it. And this wooden thing here really looks nice, I think. This needs texture, and there's still a lot of work that needs to be done. But overall, it's looking good. Now, standing atop here, I just want to tell you guys a couple of my plans for this. I don't know if we're going to have this road go straight along here. We probably will, though. Have the first road be straight. But I want to bring it up, and I want some of the city to sit higher than this. Now, probably in medieval times, that wouldn't be beneficial because you'd have the walls to protect you. Obviously, having the city higher than the walls would mean that archers could shoot in and stuff. But it would also mean that we could shoot out of the walls and then bring our men down and behind here. But this isn't real. This is fantasy, okay? This is a bit of fun. And because of that bit of fun, I want to just sort of play with the elevation. I want you to be able to see parts of the city sort of peering over the walls. I think it'll look really nice on the landscape. But a couple of the plans that I've got is having a rough throat. Sorry, I was at a rock concert last night, so it's my voice is gone. Anyway, I want to have like a river coming down here, sort of going around here. Some sort of water feature. I want it to be a very original river. I want us to create it. It was man-made. It wasn't natural, is what I'm trying to say. It's definitely a feature of the town. I want to have some sort of coliseum and obviously some homes, some shops. As we come into here, I kind of want to make this area here the shopping district. We'll probably put that on the same level as this, and then we'll start to go up and have a sort of a bit of a retaining wall behind these guys. I think it'll look really, really good. But anyway, that is going to do it for this episode. So do me a favor, guys, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see how this progress comes along, do me a favor, hit that like button and click subscribe. You can also check out my other channels. Those are linked down below along with my social media. But as always, I'm Casey, you're the awesome folk. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.